Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller, and we are here to talk about the stock market. And especially, I want to talk about Bitcoin because I changed my view on Bitcoin over the last 2 weeks or so for some very, very important reasons. I want to explain why I've changed my opinion, what I think about it, what it is, and where to go from here. But first, let's take a walk down memory lane and discuss what Bitcoin is and how I felt about it for the last, I would say, 3 years or so. So Bitcoin, along with a bunch of other ones, they're called cryptocurrencies. So it's basically instead of me handing you a dollar, I'm handing you digital money, digital gold, digital silver, however you want to view it. Bitcoin is the oldest one. I think it started in like 2009, 2010. It had done nothing really up until 2016, 2017, when it just absolutely exploded and became a household name. Now, back in 2017, the value of one Bitcoin shot up to its all-time high at that point in time of $20,000 per one Bitcoin. And you can buy, just like a stock, you can buy fractions of Bitcoin. So you can have $100 of Bitcoin and it shoots up and you make a lot of money and you can sell it. Now, the reason why I haven't been a fan, and I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I'm on board with it now than when I was then, is because I don't buy gold, I don't buy silver, I don't buy stuff I cannot really evaluate. And what do I mean by that? For example, an Apple, Walmart, I can look at the books, I can look at their revenue, I can see their CEO, I know and can understand why your sales will go up or why your sales would fall. Same thing with Nike. Bitcoin, however, just goes up and down based on how people feel. And at the time in December 2017 and the months leading up to it, people just had a fever pitch about cryptocurrencies. And the hype just ran and ran and ran and ran for no real reason. There was no reason for Bitcoin's rise in 2017, other than the fact just thought, hey, if I get in, maybe I can make some quick money. So back then, I said no. I was even on record and did a radio hit for, I think it was Morgan State University's radio. I'm like, I'm not really big into it unless you know what you're doing, because it's volatile. It would jump 20% in a day, fall 15% in a day. And most new investors are not ready for that type of up and down. So what happened? It hit the peak back in around December 2017, mid-December. So like not right around now, but about 2 weeks from now, it will be his 3-year anniversary of hitting that mark. And it fell within a year all the way down to $3,000. So from $20,000 to $3,000. Is that an investment that is within a year, by the way? Is an investment that's, smart to do? For most people, no, it's not. And it wasn't. Anything that jumps that much in a day is hectic, especially if you're new and it's a 24/7 type of thing. Unlike the regular stock market, it closes, you wake up, you get in, you get out, whatever it is. You could be making or losing money overnight, which can be hectic if you are brand new to this. But also those highs and those lows, just not easy for most investors to jump into. But also the majority of people who are jumping into it were jumping into it at the last minute, November, December, not 2009, not 2010, not years and years ago when they understood it, if they understood it back then. So you had a lot of people jumping into something they didn't know. You had an investment that couldn't really be evaluated, and it was brand new. So brand new to most people. It had been out for a while, but it was brand new to a lot of people. It was hectic and no one really understood it. That's why I wasn't for it. So what has changed? My investing approach has always been to, number one, understand what you're investing in. I don't care what it is, you need to understand it. But two, see where the big money is going. When I start to see a Warren Buffett to a degree, but the JP Morgans, these mutual funds, Vanguard, when I start to see them move into a stock, that gives me confidence and it gives me backing to say, look, if they have trillions of dollars in something, I know for a fact it has to go up. Because if I'm getting in here and they're buying it too at trillions of dollars, it has to rise because you got trillions of dollars into it. And they got more money than me and you and millions of people combined. That's what moves the market. It's the Goldman Sachs, the JP Morgans, those big banks, when they decide to buy something or sell something, again, that's what moves the market. For example, again, we talked about Warren Buffett selling however many billions out of Delta and all the airlines. Those airlines fell partly because he jumped out of it and that influenced other people. So right now, so first off, Bitcoin today's at the time of this recording is around 19,500 and some change. Obviously that will change. It's going to continue changing, but JP Morgan, as well as several other investing firms, are now pushing this forward. So the institutional money is now there. We also know more now in 2020 than what we did 3 years ago. It's more familiar. More people have learned about it. It is easier to get into. Back in 2017, you had to set up this weird wallet. It was only on Coinbase and some other virtual wallets that people really didn't understand. Now you can get it on stuff like Cash App. It's a whole lot easier to get in and get out and understand what's going on more now than what it was 3 years ago. So we know more information. Big institutions are now investing in it, which gives it a little more legitimacy. And now I think it makes sense to have some portion of your money in a cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, they have a whole bunch of other ones. But I like to say with the mainstream, because I know those are, and it's all unpredictable. They're more predictable than not. So that's where I am now. So I did on Cash App, it was like $100. I would recommend, well, let's just say recommend. I would, if you came to me as a client, I would suggest having no more than like 1 to 3% of your overall money in Bitcoin if you want to do it. You don't have to. This is also not a guarantee that Bitcoin is going to continue going up. It could do just like it did in 2017 and fall off the map between now and 2021. Totally possible, right? So it is still very, very risky regardless of who's investing into it and who's not. But if someone walk into my office and say, look, I've got 3% of my money in Bitcoin, I'm okay with that. If you got 5, I don't know, you got 10, you got 15, then I think you're taking on a little too much risk. But also, I say if you got 10% of any one investment, you are still taking on a lot of risk. You told me, hey, I got 10% of my money in Apple. I'm like, I mean, it's a good stock, but you might want to trim it down just a tiny bit to have more diversity and to have more balance. Because if Apple falls, I don't want to lose 10% of my money just because I had one stock. So that's how I see it. I think it makes more sense now than what it did. Now you could say, well, what if I bought, in 2018 when it was down? Well, yeah, but you would have bought something that was sliding off the map. You could have bought at 7,000 because it was cheap, right? 20,000 to 7, that's pretty cheap, and dropped to 3, and then you would have been looking crazy, right? We didn't know what was going to happen after that. We know that way before 2017, Bitcoin was not anything, right? It was very, very, very cheap and no one thought anything of it. So you can always play the what if game, but we know right now we have more information. It's more accessible. We know institutions are putting their money into it. And just like I told you with Tesla, institutions are going to have to buy it because they're going to add it to all those index funds. That is one of the reasons that pushed me to buy Tesla. And as you've already seen, it's made like 40, 45, almost 50% this month alone, and it hasn't even been added yet. So that is the safety, that is the secret sauce to my investing strategy, is to find out what are these big banks doing? What are these institutions doing? Because they got the money. The B&Us, the people who, buy Kodak and buy Nikola and all these other things, if they try and like outsmart the market and it takes off and just drops off, that's because institutions aren't buying it. The big boys, the billionaires aren't buying it. And that's why it just goes up and falls off so quick. It takes them time to move that amount of money, and it gives you time to get in before they do and rise when they put that money in there. That's how you benefit. That's how you win. That's how you avoid these huge losses. So I'll be paying attention to it. Again, I told you I only put $100 into it. I really don't care what happens to it because it's not my main thing. Y'all know what my main thing is, what we talk about it all the time: index funds and quality stocks. And we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll let y'all know what happens. If it drops, which it could, no big deal. That's why I only got a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver into it. So we'll cover it. I'll let you guys know, but I'll also let you know like why I've changed my opinion. And that's how everything should be. When you get more information, you change your view as opposed to being stubborn or ignorant of what's going on and how things have changed. All right, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about Bitcoin. Did you have it before? Did you get burned before? Have you made a whole bunch of money? Let me know about what you think about it in the comments. I'll talk to you guys later.